Hi, everyone, and welcome to the LoudCasa Talks. Just a disclaimer, this recording of the LoudCasa Talks is happening on November 16th, 2022. Everyone, and welcome to an all-new episode of the LoudCasa Talks. My name is Nate, and alongside on my right is Omid. So how are you doing, sir?
Hey, what is up, Loud Crowd and Casagrandes? How y'all doing? Hope y'all are having a good weekend, and especially considering, and I hope you guys are getting ready for Thanksgiving, which is coming next week, baby.
Yeah, I mean that's it's quick, right? Holidays have been coming up real soon, and we have a lot to talk about for the Loud House, indeed. But let's actually go straight to our weekly checkup. Omid, you and I have been out of town as of late. You went to Las Vegas. I went to Portland, Oregon. Let's start off with you, Omid. Your Las Vegas trip, how memorable was it for you?
Oh yeah, not only when we were out of town, we were out of state. Like we actually went to different
Mm-hmm.
states. so so yeah, I met up with my brother and we had a really fun time. We pretty much went to this pizza festival. I ate as much pizza like as possible. Like, oh my god, the pizza festival was awesome. And then later on, we went to a G League game. Like it's sort of a minor league basketball, in which NBA G League Ignite, the Las Vegas G League team, played against Santa Cruz Warriors, which is the G League affiliate with my favorite team, the Golden State Warriors. So of course, I was all decked out in Warrior gear, rooting for
Nice.
my Warriors, but unfortunately,
How
they
how
lost.
exciting is it? How exciting is it for a G League game? Like it's not as crowded as a Warrior game. I know that, but is the excitement still there, or is it
The
different?
excitement is it actually is still there. Like it is like smaller crowd, but the energy though is still there. It's still present. And trust me, like I've seen like some kids like screaming like their
Really?
lungs out. So I've heard
So at
some
least the
kids screaming their
so
lungs
at least the
out. So
families
yeah.
come by to watch like Las Vegas teams and apparently G League teams of the Warriors. It'd be great
Yeah.
if there's actually an NBA team in Las Vegas, but there's no Vegas team yet.
And then we went to this blackout party at this one place, which is to pretty much celebrate our team, the Las Vegas Raiders. And I actually had a starstruck moment because me and my brother saw a former NFL punter of ours, who was a punter from 2012 to 2017,
Okay.
Market King. Market
Oh,
King.
dude, where has he been? Is he on a different team or something? Or is he retired now?
Like he was at a blackout party, and I don't know, but all I know is that I saw him, and he was a former Raider punter. So I just thought, I need to go selfie with you, and so I did. And then,
Nice,
also,
nice. So that's
and
cool.
then the
That's
next
cool.
day, of course, we went to Lolo's Chicken and Waffles place. The chicken and waffles were good. And then later on, we went to the Raider game. The less said about the actual game itself, the better. But the Allegiant Stadium,
Oh
the
boy,
crowd
oh
itself,
boy.
massive.
Let's just say this, Omid. I mean, a loss with this minor league Warriors team, and then a loss with the Raiders team. I'm like, bro, your teams are not doing great this weekend, especially the Raiders. I'm sorry, but to your bro and to you, I'm sorry, they are not a team that I would want to watch anymore.
Yeah, it was
No, no, no,
disgraceful.
okay. So to say the least, that game was actually exciting. So that I can actually see, like, oh, you guys are there, fourth down, and you didn't get the touchdown, and oh god.
Yeah, and then next day, my brother and I saw
Wait. You
Wakanda
forgot.
Forever.
You forgot about another game that happened that night.
Yeah, the Kings and Warriors. Oh no, no, no! How dare you,
Yes,
man? How
you
dare
have
you?
to. You have to bring it up because
You
my
led
team just beat
you
your team.
you led me to it, man. How
Yeah,
dare you, man?
exactly. Because my Kings finally beat forget the Warriors now. So who's the better team now? See,
Ugh.
Sacramento. I'm telling you.
What happened? What happened?
Yeah, what
How is it
happened?
that
Warriors. I don't know if they're beating. I don't know if they're winning against the Suns tonight, but
like? How is it that I'm in? How is it that in one weekend both Warrior
Actually,
teams lost.
it's weird because you actually had like 3 losses. Actually, the 2 Warrior games and the Raider game. But you said that you were watching Black Panther on Monday at least.
Yeah.
So
Wakanda
yeah.
forever, baby.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was a powerful movie. Like it was quite an emotional movie at times, and of course, Shuri getting the main spotlight. Of course, Shuri is one of my favorite Black Panther characters, right alongside Killmonger. So I was so happy that she got the spotlight, that she really, nailed her role in this movie.
Just remember, no spoilers. I haven't watched the movie yet, so
I'm not spoiling. I'm just giving out my thoughts on it. That yeah, Shuri was awesome.
okay, cool. Anything else you want to bring up for that Las Vegas trip? Any other memorable moments? But it was just pretty much it, right? You're pretty much watching sports throughout the whole weekend.
Yeah, pretty much it was a, sports weekend for me and my brothers, so we had a fun time doing that together.
Yeah, but they're all losses. But the best one was the Kings beating the Warriors.
No,
what if
no,
I was there? What if I was there in Las Vegas and
I'm kind of glad you weren't, because
baby.
you would have rubbed in my face, man.
Stack down, beat down. Let's go.
You would have rubbed in my face, man.
Yeah, I will definitely rub it in your face. Okay, but here's the thing. I am going to Vegas in December to check out the Patriots against the Raiders. That will not be a Sunday night game, I'm pretty sure, anymore, because the Raiders suck. So I'm going to look at it as a Sunday afternoon game. So hopefully the Patriots beat the Raiders, because Raiders, well, they kind of are terrible at the moment.
Yeah, don't remind me.
I'm so sorry, but it is true. So what do you think? I don't know. Your bro is probably saying it's hopeless now, right? That they're not a playoff team anymore?
Yeah, honestly, our chances for playoffs, obviously, they're kind of dead right now.
Yeah, so sorry, guys. Remember, Niners. You come to the Gold Rush and be a part of the Niners team. You live in the Bay Area, so
yeah.
All right, he'll decide. He might be a Niner fan by the end of the night. We'll see.
No, won't. No, I won't. No, I won't. No, like New Year's, we'll be battling it out, you and me.
I know, but it's New Year's Day itself. Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, that's Omid's Vegas trip. But I have a trip actually all my way to a new convention up in Portland called Komoricon 2022. It's actually my second time going to Komoricon, and oh boy, things were kind of crazy. I came in on Thursday night and I hang out with my sister because my sister now lives in Portland. So we hanged out, had some family time, and then at night I went back to the hotel room, hanged out with my bros who I'm going to be staffing with, considering that we are a press team that are going to be covering like the guests that are going to be there at Komoricon, plus seeing what Komoricon's all about. So there's a lot of awesome stuff that are in that convention. It's big, it's massive. But the other thing too is that the people there at Komoricon are very wholesome. So I'm really happy that these people here are like really nice, friendly. They're just really awesome people that you don't ever see ever in California, to say. Like, it's weird considering that in California there's a lot of crowds of people that goes to conventions, while in Oregon there are actually less people going to conventions, but at the same time they're actually love the same anime like you do, love the same cartoons like you do, love the stuff that you are into, like guest of honor and voice actors, that kind of stuff. They're in that convention, and Komoricon, no doubt, this year was actually a little bit more better than last year, considering last year was less crowded compared to this year. And I don't think the Komoricon staff actually knew that there was going to be more crowded, because day one, if you have been checking out all of Twitter, on Instagram or Facebook, everyone is saying, oh, Komoricon is shit. Oh, Komoricon is bad. That's because registration took them 4 hours to get their badges. Like, people had to wait 4 hours to get their badges. I understand that y'all are probably frustrated about that. But the other thing too is that there's a lack of staff. Like, there are literally low staffers in, like, not a lot of people are staffing over at Komoricon. That's the reason why there's so many people arguing and just angry about the staff. But the thing is, like, there's only a limited amount of staff of people. That even my colleague Matt, he was the one who actually went to Komoricon staff and actually volunteered to work for them. So yeah, Komoricon day one was terrible. I understand some people missed out on panels, but then when day 2 and 3 came along, it turned out to be really nice. Everybody was in cosplays. I never expected so many people to actually love my Rain Whispers cosplay. Like, every time, like, you'll see my videos on YouTube, but I'll just be passing around, like, I'll have my camera with me and I'll just be walking around dealers hall. And then there's just gonna be a lot of people saying, like, oh, you like the Rain cosplay, you like Rain cosplay. Oh, can we get a picture? That kind of stuff. I don't know. Like, the Owl House community over there is definitely it's definitely out there. Like, there's a lot of Owl House fans. There's a lot of Gravity Falls fans. There's only one Amphibia fan. I swear to God, there's got to be more Amphibia cosplayers out there, guys. You guys suck.
Oh God.
There's only one
honestly,
Marcy. There's only one Marcy cosplayer, and I only saw her for like 1 second, and then she just got on her cosplay on Friday. I'm like, God damn it! I'm like, where's my Amphibia cosplayers? I would love to see more of it. It could be an Anne, Sasha, or Sprig, or those people. But
you did
no.
at least see one, so check that mark off, you know.
Yeah, go check that video out. I didn't take a picture. I just passed by her because we were in the elevator stall, and then I was going down, she was going up, and then I saw her outfit. I'm like, I had to point it out. I love your Marcy cosplay, and then she says thank you, that kind of stuff. That's it. That's my only interaction with the Marcy cosplayer. So I totally missed out on getting a picture or something about her. And what's kind of crazy is the fact that like she said that she's going to Komoricon. She put it on Twitter. And then the creator Matt Brawley actually liked it and retweeted it too. So oh my God, he's aware of cosplays. So just a heads up, if you want to cosplay Amphibia, Matt Brawley will probably like you for it.
Yeah, keyword being might. Like I didn't see him liking my Sprig cosplay. Okay, I'm sorry, getting a bit. I'm getting a bit petty here.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, besides that, I have a lot of awesome videos coming up on my YouTube that I'm going to be interviewing a lot of awesome people. I interviewed Ed MacArthur, Kaji Tang, the Studio Trigger guys, Sharon Millet, Bryce Pappenbrook, and Burnout Syndrome. So all of them I interviewed, and to be fair, all of them were amazing. And just a heads up for the Adam MacArthur interview, you will be surprised of what he said. he said a really weird story, and I don't know if you guys will like it. I don't know if YouTube will like it, but he's gonna say a story that you probably will not believe. So watch out for that later on as I put it up on YouTube. Kachi Tang was amazing. Studio Trigger guys were awesome. I didn't know they were Star Wars nerds, by the way. They're huge Star Wars nerds. Sharon Belay, you know her as Asana, those people. Bryce Pappenbrook. Okay, so I have a friend, our friend Natalie. She's a huge fan of Miraculous Ladybug. Bryce Pappenbrook is the voice of Adrian. I told him like, when are you gonna see Adrian? When are you gonna see Adrian and Marionette, become a couple? And he says, not for 15 years because I want to stay in this job. So he's like, yeah, he wants to make sure Adrian and Marionette are, not together for a while. And then of course, I think the biggest one that I ended up like interviewing was Burnout Syndrome. It's a big band, amazing band. Sang the song for Haikyuu and everything. But yeah, Komoricon no doubt was absolutely amazing. I have a lot of videos coming up. Please check out my YouTube, Nate's Con videos and more. That's my YouTube channel. So check it out, and you'll see those interviews come up. So yeah, it's amazing.
Awesome, yeah, dude. Yeah, definitely go check out Nate's con videos, gameplay GP con videos.
Oh, I forgot. Saturday night was amazing because we were able to watch Teddy Lloyd perform. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I envy you. But then again, I did watch a performance CRX in 2018.
It's kind of like,
2019,
I don't know. It's weird because like we only get to see him perform for an hour, but it's an exciting like DJ set that he puts up. He puts up like Me Be Me. He puts up Fly Away. Some Panty and Stocking songs that are in there too. But
he also did a remix of The Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, you heard that one, right? He did a remix of Legend of Zelda. He put Flow. He put the Flow song from Go. Was it Go from the Naruto song from Flow?
Yeah, I saw that. When I was on Instagram, I saw that he did the full remix of Full. I'm just like, oh,
it's not the one song you wanted to remix, that Code Geass song.
Yeah, like, why does he do Colors of Death? No, I'm just kidding. In all seriousness, though, like, I like the fact that he remixed the song with one of Flo's songs. It's like my two Japanese artists combined together.
Yeah, so it was definitely an awesome time with that. But yeah, I gotta say this. Come visit Komoricon. It always happens in November. It's fun. Also bundle up because it's gonna be cold when you go up there. So.
Oh yeah, I heard. Yeah, winter has come. Winter has come already. Like winter has come back hard.
Is that like a Game of Thrones reference there?
Winter is coming. Yes. To quote the House Stark, winter is coming.
Okay, that sounds good. It's unfortunate I couldn't be able to interview Teddy Lloyd because I would love that. And then it's unfortunate I couldn't be able to interview Christina V because I would love to interview her as Marionette or Mio Akiyama or all the other characters that Christina V has done. It's just that she canceled on us too, so our interviews with her couldn't be able to could be able to be done at all.
Oh,
So
dude.
yeah, there's some
Yeah, at least you got the
there were
interviews you
many there were
wanted, though,
many
so
there were
that's
like
good.
3 that canceled on us, but that's okay. We were able to at least get like 5 or 6 out of it.
I see.
All right. I think that's enough small talk of our weekend to say, but to say the least, Omid went to Las Vegas. He had a fun time. I went to Portland. I had a fun time. But now we're back here in the studio, and let's go ahead and get ourselves ready to talk more about the Loud House and the Casagrandes. So let's go ahead straight to our recent news. And we don't have much recent news coming up. We don't know what is happening when it comes to Loud House and the Casagrandes. Looks like we know that Loud House is going to have the episodes in December. But at the moment right now, we have brand new episodes of the Really Loud House coming out. And tomorrow's episode is going to be quite interesting because, yeah, we're only 3 episodes in to this brand new live action Really Loud House show. And this one here is going to be an interesting one. Let's actually talk about the Really Loud House new episode called The Blemish Dilemish. Synopsis here says, we meet the action news team as Lincoln finds himself taken aback by a new crush. Ooh, a new crush, he says. Ooh.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, mom and dad attempts to befriend a doctor to avoid the astronomical medical expenses that come with having 11 children. Now, from all the preview clips, there's a lot that comes with this. I mean, let's start off with seeing Royal Woods Middle School. First off, okay, so we understand Lori went to college, which means cool. She went to college. This does mean that the Lincoln and his friends need to go to Royal Woods Middle School, and of course, Lynn needs to be there as well. So, so the fact that they're actually referencing Royal Woods Middle School tells me that they're really on the right track on like how they are referencing the Loud House, for example. I mean, how did you like the accuracy that Lincoln is in middle school, just like what's happening in the animated series?
Now, on that part, I really do like because it's very accurate to the Loud House timeline today. So, massive respect to that. And oh man, the moment you said you crushed, I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to punch my laptop screen. I'm just like,
no, don't break your laptop screen for one thing, okay? Jesus.
I was like, how does Lincoln have a new crush? New crush? Are you for real? Did they not see the animated Loud House series?
Because they have accuracy. They have accuracy when it comes to at least the timeline. They're trying to make it like past season 5, where you get to see, Lori in college. You get to see Lincoln in middle school. My thing right now is that in middle school, at least they have they have the thing that they do. I mean, Lincoln is in that news action team, so that's awesome. I'm just waiting for like other things to pop up as well. Like, I don't know. I mean, to say the least, at least they're being accurate when it comes to middle school. I need to see Lynn in that school too, if anything. But still, the accuracy there is still pretty great. I mean, even the sign, like if you look at the sign, it looks great. I mean, it feels like they are really doing an accurate job when it comes to actually portraying the animated series into the real life series. So that's at least, great for them. At least I'm happy that they are putting that here.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm happy for that too. Like the way they accurately portrayed the entire lore of Loud House. That really just goes to show you how much homework they did.
Exactly. So first off, just really happy the fact that the staff knows about the Loud House animated series and they actually put it into live action. It looks good so far. Now, we're now going into the Royal Woods Middle School and we get to see some of the characters that are going to be there. What are your first impressions of the secondary characters in the middle school? I mean, we have already from the commercials, we got to have a Liam, we're going to have a Zach, we're going to have a Rusty. So your first impressions on those 3?
Yeah, I'm looking at those 3 and I'm thinking to myself, oh my god, a live action Liam, live action Zach, live action Rusty. But where's live action Stella? We want live action Stella.
No, I was gonna come to that. Okay, shut up.
That was just my initial thoughts when I saw like that particular image.
Okay, to be fair, would you say they're accurate as well? I mean, you can't really have the fuzz of Rusty's hair. I love the buzz cut though from Liam, by the way. and the outfit definitely doesn't suit him too.
Yeah, it's definitely Liam's, haircut. Definitely.
Yeah, but then Zach, okay, I get it. The glasses and the hair of Zach, and then like I said, they are really trying to make it as accurate as the show. But to be fair, it does look they do look really well, as Lincoln's friends to say.
Yeah, they do. I agree.
Okay, but yeah, where is Stella? Okay, you have the action news team, and you have Rusty, Liam, and Zach. but you have to have your girl that was also there too in the team, Stella. I know Clyde is there.
Stella!
Yeah,
Stella!
I know Clyde is there. But yeah, and the thing is that this whole week we were kind of thinking like, oh, we have these three, but we're Stella. But we have heard news that there is a Stella actress that is going to be in the show. There is a confirmation that there is going to be a brand new person, a young actress who's going to be Stella Zhao. So first off, we're gonna have that. That's great. The second part is she gonna happen this episode? Because you gotta have her if she's gonna be part of the live action use team. Like you gotta have her.
Exactly, man.
You got nothing much to say.
Like we need Stella. We want Stella.
Yeah. Okay. What other secondary characters do you think should be in like this episode here where we get to see the middle school? I'm waiting for a girl Jordan. I'm waiting for Molly. I'm waiting for
live action Chandler.
No. Oh, yeah. Let's see if there's a live action Chandler.
As soon as there's a live action Chandler, we're all going to be turned off the TV.
I think yeah. And then the principal Ramirez. I need her to also be a part of this as well. I would imagine she would be in this episode too. So the principal will be there. You get to see some of the characters. Like I said, it would suck if Chandler's there. But he's a significant character. He is like a bully. I understand that, but yeah, I can totally see that. If out of the bloom, we get to see some random secondary characters come in, like say for example the bullies from No Fuss No Fuss, then I'll be happy if they actually put those characters in. I'm like, oh my god, yes.
Live action Taylor.
That's not her name. All of you are saying that it's Taylor, but it's not her name, guys. It's not even canon.
Honestly, they're just begging for that live action bully girl. I'm just like, what's so special about her other than the fact that she's material for fan artists?
I don't know. I know a lot of people really like her design. That's why people are drawing her. But
same thing with Maggie.
I don't know what other characters can we bring up from this. But here's the thing: at least we get some of those secondary characters that Lincoln has been with all along, like Liam, Zach, and Rusty. But I'm waiting for Stella to come out, so I can totally see that they at least are accurate with the action use team. If it sucked, because like Stella would be like the last person to come in and be like, "Hey, what did I miss?" And I'm like, "Oh god damn it, you just missed out on so much stuff right now."
Yeah, it would be like a tease. It would be like a tease where it's like they're gonna pull a very Casagrande Christmas and have Stella appear in the last 5 seconds.
Oh please, look, I want her to shine. I hope she ends up, becoming it, being a part of the show. And I hope, like I said, we only have 20 episodes in this show, but to be fair, already for the first 2 episodes, it looks good so far. Like the second episode wasn't that bad either. So yeah, we'll review that later on coming up. Okay, now we have to bring in the elephant in the room. Now we talked about this brand new girl named Charlie that apparently Lincoln has a crush on. So your thoughts on this girl that Lincoln is totally crushing on?
Who the flip is Charlie? Where did she come from? Like, who is she? And don't you think that you might have, I don't know, used another girl like, I don't know, Ronnie Ann! Santiago should have taken her place in the show. Like, where did she come from? Like how is she? Okay. I'll give the benefit of the doubt. Okay, like maybe she could turn out to be a fun character. Maybe she could turn out to be like have a fun personality like Ronnie Ann. One thing I don't want them to do is make her a Mary Sue character. I don't want her to be like the bland love interest, because if they make her the bland love interest, trust me, we're gonna have issues. Really, Loud House. We're gonna have a talk.
Oh man. Okay, so people have been telling me this is an alternate universe thing. So like, look, they're all thinking that the live action Loud House is definitely an alternate universe, and you get to see just these all other characters that come in, and this brand new girl named Charlie apparently is Lincoln's brand new crush. And I'm assuming that what the Loud House writers were doing is, look, we're making Ronnie Ann and Lincoln friends. So I'm assuming that's what they did, and that's the reason why this Charlie chick just started to come in there. I don't know. I mean, this is gonna be weird considering like throughout the episode, like we saw a lot of more previews, especially today, where we get to see Lincoln just continue to become Goo Gaga for this Charlie chick. And there's this one clip too where like Lincoln was in a diaper for some reason, and then she saw Charlie saw Lincoln in a diaper for some reason, and I'm like, What?
Oh,
It's weird. I don't know. There has to be some context in that, because that was the only shot that I ended up getting, that I ended up seeing Charlie and Lincoln together, like, interacting with each other. So I I don't know. I mean, coming into this episode, I'm like, this Charlie chick better be really, helpful for Lincoln, or we're gonna have to talk, just considering that Lincoln like crushes on Charlie throughout most of the season. By the way, I've seen the episode synopsises on a couple episodes, and they're like 4 or 5 episodes that says Lincoln is trying their best on Charlie. Lincoln's trying his best on Charlie, and I'm like, oh my god, no, 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 like not like this.
yeah.
So
Honestly, they're. I'm just like, no Charliekin, please bring back Ronniekin, not Charliekin.
or if we can have Stella Kid. Probably that's not gonna happen in this. I don't know. 5%
I've always,
chance. 5% chance we can have that.
I've always seen Stella and Lincoln as friends anyway, but I'd much rather Stella
do
Kid
it.
than
Do
Charlie
it.
Kid.
Just do it like Gravity Falls, when you had Candy and Dipper have a thing that happened for one episode.
Yeah, honestly, you could at least give us that instead of whatever this is.
I don't know. I just this is just gonna be weird. I just hope that they do it right when it comes to incorporating this brand new chick named Charlie into the show. But yeah, we don't know. We don't know how this is gonna go. But tomorrow, this is going to be this is going to be a very interesting episode to talk about.
Yeah.
All right. And then there's also this B story of the episode where be a story of the episode where we get to see Rita and Lynn Sr. try to find a doctor that can maintain all 11 kids. What are your thoughts on this B story that is also happening in this episode?
Yeah. It's pretty interesting considering the fact that, well, there are 11 kids, and let me tell you, as if healthcare itself wasn't already high enough with just one kid, because trust me, healthcare in the US is just, cost of arm and a leg alone. But then 11 kids, that's gonna be up to $1 million. It's yeah, I can see the struggle there financially, in terms of having to make sure that 11 of the kids get a decent health provider, but then they'd have to search for a doctor in order for him to take care of the Loud kids, while also at the same time saving money.
I don't know how the side story is going to be. I think I'm just more interested towards Lincoln and this Charlie chick.
Yeah, I kind of wonder how it's gonna go. I kind of wonder how it's gonna go.
There
I
been
kind of
so-
want
there-
sometime in the third half, it's gonna be a surprise. We see live action Ronnie Yen, she just pop out, she's kick the door and be like, "I object," or "That's my man," or something like that. Spike to the death, Charlie.
I don't know. I feel like they're going to do. I don't know. Like I said, I hope that's the only main focus I'm looking at is Lincoln and this Charlie chick. But the other thing too is that I'm also focused on Royal Woods Middle School. Hope we get to see more secondary characters. I can't wait to see their live action girl Jordan, if anything, or any of the other secondary characters that are there. Because I can imagine that they're just gonna recast some characters and just make them random names and stuff. So I'm like, you gotta get me those references, guys. And obviously, Lynn needs to be in the school because they're in middle school. Lynn is still in middle school, so
yeah, they're in middle
Lynn
school.
Junior needs to be there. Yeah. For the B story, I'm like, yeah, you know what, B story's fine. Rita and Lynn Senior will finally find a doctor that can work out for them. What should be one of the doctors that are from the previous episodes, like the dentist, for example, or I don't know. We actually never saw a doctor for the Louds, have we?
Yeah, we never have. We saw a dentist, but
Yeah, we saw a
that
dentist
was
for the
Rita's
Louds.
old boss. That was Rita's old boss.
Right. Now,
yeah, we're talking about
now
doctor.
We
We never
see a
see him.
doctor. Yeah, we just never see a doctor for the Louds. So maybe this is just a brand new story for us to imagine.
Yeah, it kind of is.
What would be a good doctor for the Louds? Good question, right? What would be a
Hi, everybody.
Not
Hi,
Flip,
Dr.
dude.
Nick.
Oh, I thought you were putting a Flip reference there.
No. It's hi, everybody. I'm trying to do a Dr. Nick voice.
Okay. Anything else you want to bring up for this preview of the Blemish that comes out tomorrow?
Nothing much I want to say except I'm going to be watching closely on the Lincoln and Charlie plot, and if they execute it well, then okay, I'll give it a pass. If they do not, we're going to have problems.
Okay, so yeah, that's probably the same thought that I have actually. So I'm really hoping Charlie is going to be a good character because she is going to be throughout the show for sure. All right, so let's just actually talk overall about the Really Loud House. We're only in 2 episodes in, and to be fair, it's not bad. Like, I have to say, it's not bad of a show. Omid, how about you? How are you feeling about this last 2 episodes of the Loud House, of the Really Loud House?
Yeah, I think it's off to a relatively good start. Like, I mean, it's not, the strongest series I've seen, nor do I think it is a pile of garbage like Fairly Otter. It's just,
Oh
better
God.
than it's better than I thought. I'll give it that. It did exceed my expectations, but I think my expectations were
Okay,
pretty
so
low anyway, so yeah.
okay, so I watched the episode of Fairly Otter just because it was the next episode. It was literally the next show after the Really Loud House, and I just was gross with the fact that Vicky likes Mr. Crocker.
Yeah. What was
What?
that all about? What's that all about?
Because what? Because Timmy is now 18 years old, went to college, and now we get to see
I'm just like,
weird
no,
things
no.
happening in Dimsdale now.
No, stop. You can't possibly ruin my childhood any further than that.
I know. It's like, what are you doing? Like, are you just trying to poison the next generation of people that are trying to figure out what the Fairly Odd Parents are?
It wouldn't surprise me if that was the actual reason.
Oh my God, no! Don't do that. If I had kids, I would pretty much tell them, "Hey, we have to watch back to 2001. That's when the Fairly Odd Parents began. That was an amazing show until it went down to crap. A couple episodes later. I mean, a couple seasons later.
Yeah, like pay attention to the first 3 seasons. Don't pay attention to whatever pile of garbage that is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Getting off track here, but yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys are watching the Really Loud House, new episode's coming out tomorrow. So tomorrow at 7 o'clock. So get ready for that. But like I said, brace yourselves because we have a brand new character named Charlie, and she's about to be a Lincoln's crush. So
Unfortunately,
I don't know how this will go. Let's see how it goes, because we really are hoping Stella, Ronnie Ann, if Ronnie Ann can ever be in this show, we don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's pretty much it for our recent news. Let's actually head over to our main story, and the main story is we're going to continue on with our story of the Casagrandes finale. Now that the show has been canceled, now let's actually talk about what's going to happen with the Casagrandes now, considering that the show is pretty much over. The Casagrandes airs its final episode a couple of weeks ago. To say the least, the final episode definitely got us questioning what will happen next. Because the Casagrandes ended in a really weird way to say. I mean, let's actually start off with this finale because it gives us more questions than answers. Like, you think that in the last episode, Bobby moves out and Bobby's going to have his brand new own house, that would be great. But then there's that one scene that kind of like flipped our lids and kind of makes us think like, if the show continued on, maybe we could have had an answer towards this. So, I mean, your thoughts on this final episode? I mean, Movers and Fakers was the final episode, and it looked like it was going to be a wholesome episode where Bobby finally moves out of like the Casagrandes apartment. But then this final scene was the one that kind of blew our minds. So, your thoughts on the final moments of the finale?
Yeah, I'm just thinking to myself, wait, there were actually cameras, like Rosa's been spying on them this whole time.
I don't see.
Okay, now you really shouldn't have canceled it that early. You really should have had the next season where it focuses on that plot line. You really should have had, a moment where the Casagrandes, discover that there is actually cameras in the water tower, and then Rosa explains herself, and then she explains to herself that she had a twin sister, and that she was trying to, get him back to another world or something like that. But I'm not thinking to myself, this ain't no Disney TVA show, okay? This ain't no Disney TVA where it's like that plot point is going to be focused in the next season, and then the Casagrandes is going to find out, then the plot's going to thicken more, okay? If it was Disney TVA, it would have gone that route.
I was just shocked at this finale. I'm like, wow, I didn't know that this was going to be how the show ends. I thought it was just going to be a wholesome ending where Bobby and the Casagrandes are living together. It's just like the Replacements, for example, where the mystery of the phone company that Todd and Riley were in finally unveiled its secret, and then they all live together as one wholesome family. I thought it would be like the same thing here, where it's like, oh, Bobby now moved out, the family's still all together in the Casagrandes apartments, and everything's all goody to say. And then this just pops up, and I'm like, wait, when did Rosa become this spy person? Like, she just continuing to just keep on like looking at her bebés this whole time, and I'm like, wait, this is weird, because like I get it, Rosa's like a really cool person. She loves to cook. She's like Chancla to be like the powerful weapon that she has. But then this sort of thing happens. It's like very sci-fi, very voodoo-y, and it just blew my mind. I'm like, okay, literally for just like 10 seconds, we just see this part, and then that's it. The show is over. And I'm like, you can't leave out the show on a cliffhanger like that. Are you gonna explain that in the Loud House? Maybe, maybe
Yeah,
not.
seriously. What's
But
with that?
why leave the show? Why leave the show like this? Like you left it in a very weird cliffhanger, and now we
You
just can't
pulled a
see it
glitch
anymore.
text. You pretty much pulled a glitch text on us.
Right? Oh god, glitch text. Oh, I missed that show too.
That had a cliffhanger on it too. That had a cliffhanger on it too. It's like, yo, what's up with that?
Oh yeah, glitch text. Yeah, I remember that.
Such
Only
a
2
good
seasons
show,
in,
man.
and then Nickelodeon just dropped it too. I don't know what, but is Nickelodeon having a trend of like dropping shows when it becomes really good? You know, it just
Yeah,
feels like that's the way they're rolling right now when it comes to these shows.
seriously, I ain't loving it. You know, it's like Spongelodian. Turn to Spongelodian.
No, okay, well, not Spongelodian. Remember, we got Loud House now, so we got a lot. We have a Loud House and a really Loud House. That SpongeBob has their trio of like shows, like what is it? SpongeBob, Camp Coral, and the Patrick Star Show. To be fair, I don't see much of Camp Coral and the Patrick Star Show. Where are they at right now, Nickelodeon?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know, and honestly, I don't care. Don't know, don't care.
I'm hoping that they made a bad idea because they said they were gonna make like this trio episode. It's gonna make this like have all 3 worlds come into one. This title zone thing that I thought was gonna be an awesome idea, but they delayed it till next year. So it's like I don't know what Nickelodeon's doing. I thought that the change of the president of Nickelodeon actually makes it a better. No, it still is the same old voodoo, the same old thing about the scheduling with Nickelodeon. Oh, we're gonna put Henry Danger all day on Teen Nick. Oh, we're gonna put Loud House, Casagrandes, SpongeBob, and other Nicktoons on Nicktoons Network. And then in Nickelodeon, we're just gonna have Nick Jr. with a SpongeBob and Loud House and that. Like you're not helping the other networks. You're not helping the other shows out. By the way, like Millamo's Post or was it like even the live action shows like That Girl Lele or was it Young Perry, for example? So or Young Dylan, sorry. But yeah, I don't know what Nickelodeon's doing. It just feels like it's just all Loud House, Loud House, and SpongeBob.
Yeah, seriously, it's like you gotta expand. You gotta extend upon your library. You know what I mean?
You know what they're doing this whole week is movies. Like really, just movies?
Real? Yeah, it was weird. It was so weird. It's like they came up with the weirdest idea. Nick comes up with the weirdest ideas, I swear.
It's not good to say the least. Network is probably gonna like fall off the cliff or something. At least Disney actually gives care about like all their animated networks at least, because Disney XD does show off like was it Hamster and Gretel, Amphibia, Big City Greens, Gravity Falls. Even if Gravity Falls ended like hella years ago, they're still in the network at least. So at least they show that there. They know how huge of a classic Gravity Falls was, and they put on Disney XD. Nicktoons Network is just like, oh, well, just random stuff about Loud House, SpongeBob, and Casagrandes.
Bad strategy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird like that. So now that the show is over, what is next for the Casagrandes? Lucky for the fandom, Nickelodeon has said that the Casagrandes will now be a part of the Loud House. From that, we'll just come in with so much speculation, like, will we have full Casagrandes episodes? Will the Casagrandes just be incorporated in, the show? When we heard that the Casagrandes show is canceled and the Casagrandes are moving into the Loud House, we just speculate so much, and I'm like, oh, is the Casagrandes going to be treated well? Oh, is the Louds are going to be taking over most of the episodes? Is the Casagrandes even going to have an episode? Are the Casagrandes just going to be showing up just as guests, like only for like one episode, and then they're gone? There's just so much things to bring up. Oh, how about the secondary characters? Are they going to even appear? There's just so much to talk about that we were discussing. But now we're here in this moment. Now we're here where the Casagrandes pretty much have the show ended, and the Loud House pretty much took over the Casagrandes. I have to say, do you feel the same way when you heard that the Casagrandes were canceled and they're going to move up to the Loud House? Did you feel the same way, like, oh, the Casagrandes going to have these shows, blah blah blah, that kind of thing?
I honestly, when I saw that the Casagrandes were getting canceled, they migrated to Loud House. I was thinking to myself, are they going to pull a season 4 again, where it's going to have like this episode with the Casagrandes, that episode with the Casagrandes? I'm wondering if they're going to do that again, like have a string of Casagrandes episodes under the Loud House name with a title episode, and then end it off with the Casagrandes.
I don't know if they do it like that, because at the moment, what we're seeing over in the Loud House right now, it doesn't feel like it's that way, right? It doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like I mean, they did a good start with say Forks and Knives Out and Great Lakes Freak Out, where it was the Casagrandes being incorporated into Loud House. But then again, it was the Casagrandes Loud House together. So I'm just saying, like, let's say episodes with the Casagrandes themselves that takes place in Great Lakes City do appear again. I'm just wondering, are they going to pull a season 4, or are they going to pull a, let's say, Spies Who Loved Me? Remember Spies Who Loved Me back in season 3?
Here's the thing. Like, I really hope they go that way, where they actually do have episodes like The Spies Who Love Me, or episodes like Great Lakes Freak Out. Because I don't like the whole incorporation with the Casagrandes, because it was fun, because it just was a setup towards the show that's coming up. But I really hope they actually, just keep it like, for example, Great Lakes Freak Out, where we get to see the Casagrandes in Great Lake City. Well, let's have those random episodes where we get to see the Casagrandes all together. Like, can we have them again? Can we have like The Spies Who Love Me, where we get to see Ronnie Ann hang out with, like, have a fun time at Great Lake City? I know that it's going to be weird how they're going to be putting the Casagrandes to the Loud House, because there has to be some Loud House involvement, I'm pretty sure. Because, like, I just hope they actually have a solo episode of the Casagrandes, but not with the Casagrandes. Just have a solo episode with the Casagrandes. And if it's going to be that way, can they just be themselves? Don't incorporate a Loud or anything like that. Like what they did before in The Spice Love Me, Lincoln is still there. Or in Great Lakes Freak Out, you get to see all the Louds pretty much interact with the Casagrandes. I need like solo episodes where we get to see the Casagrandes just pretty much be themselves, in Great Lake City, in the Mercado by themselves. But yeah, who knows? The Loud House writers have whatever they can do with it.
Yeah, definitely. Let's just say that like whatever holds for the Casagrandes in the future, let's hope it's a bright one.
I think it's gonna be bright. Well, we'll see. What other thoughts in your minds came up, Omid, when you thought when you heard about the Casagrandes cancellation, and what they're gonna do when they get incorporated with the Louds?
Another thing too that I had in mind is that when it comes to the Casagrandes episodes themselves within the Loud House, like under the Loud House name, I'm thinking to myself, is there going to be more Loud cameos in Casagrande focus episodes? Like say for example, a Luna Loud cameo. Please. A Luna Loud cameo.
Like how would Luna be incorporated with the Casagrandes? Is she going to be like having a performance with Hector? Is that what we're assuming?
No, I think it's what is possibly be a possible plot line is that there might be a plot where it's about the band sort of episode where Bobby and his band compete against Luna and her band, and so you see Bobby and Luna battling their bands together, like pretty much facing off against each other in the battle of the bands.
Okay, all right, that's something to bring up. So if anything, there needs to be more loud Casagrande interactions. I think that's fair. But like I said, I really do hope we get to see just solo Casagrande episodes where we get to see like the Casagrandes episodes put it into the Loud House, for example. Like I want those interactions again. It's just that we're missing out on a lot of characters that never appeared in sorry. We have a lot of characters that appeared from the Casagrandes into the Loud House. The thing is, when are the other characters of the Casagrandes moving into the Loud House too and have their appearance in the show? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, here's the thing. It's been a couple of weeks now since the finale, and already from the new episode of the Loud House that we have just reviewed for you guys, we have had glimmering hopes of what we might see of the Casagrandes to be incorporated in the Loud House. So now let's go through pretty much all the episodes that the Casagrandes are currently in. And let's actually start off with the first episode that came out right when the cancellation just ended. Literally the week after the Casagrandes ended, they have this new episode called Forks and Knives Out. And we get to see Ronnie Ann again. And oh man, people were waiting for this. Ronnie Ann finally appeared in a Loud House episode, and it took them like how long? 2 seasons?
Exactly.
When was the last time we saw Ronnie Ann in the Loud House? Was it
Season
Don't You
4.
Forget? Was it Don't
It
You
was season
Forget
4.
About Me? Right?
Yeah, I'm just like, yes. Somehow the Loud House season 5 was like, Ronnie who? Ronnie who? Yeah, I'm just they were like Ronnie Ann who?
Ronnie Ann's fighting with the Casagrandes. That's the reason why we never brought him to the Loud House, you know?
No, but you could have had like at least a 5-second cameo with Ronnie Ann in which she video chats with Lincoln. That way, the Loud House season 5 would acknowledge that Ronnie Ann exists in that world. You know what I mean?
Fun fact, though, there's a lot more Lincoln interaction with Ronnie Ann in the Casagrandes more than whatever was going on with Ronnie Ann and Lincoln in the Loud House. Because throughout that period, we were thinking like, when is Ronnie Ann gonna ever visit the Loud House? That never happened in season 5, and it only happened in season 6 when the Casagrandes just ended.
Yeah, it was weird. Ronnie Ann is returned in season 6. I'm just like, where were you a season ago? You know?
Yeah, where were you in season 5? Like, couldn't you actually be there when Lincoln was, in middle school? And probably both of you now in middle school now, so you probably are going to be, you're probably going to be more interactive more with each other now.
Pretty much.
I think one thing that we all were predicting was like, oh, are the Casagrandes moving to the Loud House? And I'm like, are they moving back to Royal Woods? And the big answer is absolutely not, considering how these last 2 episodes have been.
Oh yeah, those have been debunked long ago. There is no way. There is a 0 chance that the Casagrandes is moving back into Royal Woods. And I'll tell you why. Because Ronnie Ann has been growing and developing in Great Lake City as a person. She's been making friends and all that stuff. And then, of course, you got Maria, who's, got her job there, and pretty much the whole like Ronnie Ann, Bobby, and Maria, like they feel at home in the Great Lake City. So yeah, honestly, and it's also, there's a huge simple fact. Lori does not live in Royal Woods anymore, so there's no point of Bobby returning back to Royal Woods if she doesn't live in Royal Woods anymore.
Exactly, and the thing is, like, look, there could be more interactions of Bobby and Lori over in college, and you've seen that already in Teed Off. In the Casagrandes. So, if anything, a Loud House episode of Bobby and Lori is what we're waiting for, literally in college or something, or in the Mercado, for example. Like, can we have that? That'd be great if they, have that, for example. But yeah, let's continue on with Forks and Knives Out. Let's see. We talked about Ronnie Ann not appearing until now in season 6. And boy, did they come out in a great way with a cooking competition between Lincoln and Ronnie Ann. And of course, the top cooks of both shows, Lynn Sr. and Rosa Casagrande. Now, we won't break down this episode because we already reviewed this episode. But how excited were you to finally see the Casagrandes appear in this episode? Like, appear in a Loud House episode?
Yeah, when I heard about this, like just by synopsis alone, I'm thinking to myself, "Oh my God, it's a Loud House Casagrande crossover!" I'm so happy, and it's a personal crossover because it's Lincoln and Ronnie Ann and Lindsay and Rosa. And look at that picture, look at that image. It's just so wholesome. Like the way you see Lincoln and Ronnie Ann and you see Lindsay and Rosa hugging each other. Oh, by the way, Lincoln and Ronnie Ann hugging each other, and you see like the nudge, and Lincoln be like Lincoln's head nudged. That shows you how much he loves her.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like so I think we already knew this before. Like when this episode synopsis comes out, we were thinking like, oh, who's the competition? And then previews came out, and everyone is saying, Ronnie Ann is back. And I love how the excitement was for the Loud crowd, especially on Twitter and Instagram. They're all raving the fact that Ronnie Ann is back, that Rosa is back, and in a great episode as well, considering that they're both cooks, Rosa and Lynn. And it made sense for them to be in a cooking competition, and of course for them to interact with each other, become friendly, and then become competitive in this episode. So I thought this was just awesome to finally have an episode where they actually have like clashing like similarities. For example, like Lynn cooks, Rosa cooks, Ronnie Ann and Lincoln, they are always going to be partners for their parents or grandparents, for example. And it's just great to see that. And I'm like, okay, great. I love it. I need more of that. So coming from that first episode, it tells you that they're treating it well. And I know that the Loud crew is pretty much making all these Loud House episodes. I mean, making all these like Ronnie. I know that the Loud crew is pretty much making all these like Casagrandes episodes, like having the Casagrandes incorporated in Loud House episodes. But for its first one that came out when the Casagrandes ended, I felt that that was really necessary, especially the way that they did it from this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
How was this different compared to the other times the Casagrandes visited the Loud House to you?
How it's different, like because during the other times the Loud House visit the Casagrandes, the other times, it was pretty much. I'm gonna be honest. As much as I love seeing the Louds and Casagrandes collide together, combine together, beat each other, let me tell you, like there was like way too many of them to keep track of. You know what I mean? Because it's like a bit much of the characters in one setting. It's kind of hard to do so much with the characters because you want to make sure you even out the amount of screen time for the characters. And what usually happens in, say, Loudest Thanksgiving or Curse is that it's usually the two families meeting each other, and then they're treated as ensemble casts rather than individual characters. Whereas in Fork and Knives Out, because there's 4 characters, 2 in each family, they get a chance to be their own individual characters within a Loud House / Casagrandes plot.
I think this definitely is a better episode compared to the other episodes that we've had where the Louds and Casagrandes interacted. Say, for example, Don't You Forget About Me. Remember that the story of that episode was mostly on Lori and Lenny. The side story was Lincoln and Ronnie Ann. And to be fair, why would that side story be great? Because we really want to see Ronnie Ann and Lincoln together. Obviously, you fans definitely will love to see that, but that is not the point of the episode. It's definitely the episode point of Lori and Lenny. So in Don't You Forget About Me, we don't care about Lincoln and Ronnie Ann. We care more about Lori and Lenny because that was the point of the episode. And then when you look back at the other like times where we get to see like was it, say for example, The Spies Who Loved Me? This wasn't about Lincoln and Ronnie Ann interacting with each other. This was just more of Ronnie Ann just trying to have a fun time while the family continues to like make sure that she's safe. Where's the focus of Lincoln and Ronnie Ann in this episode? None. There's none in that. So
exactly.
So when you get to see these interactions of, like, for example, the Casagrandes and the Louds, were very minimal, or they don't even make a significant point when it comes to the episode. So
that was the problem. Yeah,
they don't make a significant point in the episode. That's what I'm saying here. Like, at least here in Forks and Knives Out, they at least incorporate the similarities between each family. For example, Rosa and Lynn Sr. loving cooking, and of course being sous chefs, Ronnie Ann and Lincoln. So I believe this was definitely a great way to start it off with the fact that, I feel like the Loud writers pretty much said like, we made our mistakes. I know that the fans really love the Louds and the Casagrandes interacting with each other, but we've made a lot of mistakes recently of how they interact with each other. So now the fact that the Casagrandes is over and that they're now being incorporated with the Loud House, I think they're trying to fix up their mistakes to make sure that the Louds and the Casagrandes interact really well with each other compared to the other episodes that we have seen,
I agree. Yeah. I want to see more episodes like this where it's pretty much one Loud and one Casagrande, or 2 Louds and 2 Casagrandes interacting with each other. For example, Lenny and Carlota, we're going to see an episode with those two. And then hopefully we get an episode with, let's say, like I said before, Bobby and Luna competing in the Battle of the Bands.
Yeah, that. But then other thing too is like, I don't know. This, like I said, more stories to come. But we don't have season 7 yet. But I know that it's currently in production. So
Carl and Lola, an episode with Lola and Carl.
Yeah,
let's go.
At least have those two. Those two are always fighting each other. I mean, have them come in.
Carl Lola fans be like, yes, let's go.
I know that the Carl Lola fans are definitely like saying, what has this interaction been? I have waited since Cursed to finally see those two interact.
Exactly.
Okay, now let's head over to the second episode that also came out with the Loud House and the Casagrandes finally interacting with each other, called Great Lakes Freakout. We reviewed this last week, by the way. This episode is intended to be just a Halloween episode. And man, did we not expect an episode like this? I mean, first off, where was this located? Yeah, where was this located? None other than Great Lake City. Oh, this feels like a Casagrandes episode, right? Where was the premise of the episode in? The Casagrandes Mercado. Oh, definitely looking like a Casagrandes episode, Who was the focus in the episode? The Casagrande family. So it's weird that even if the Louds are incorporated smallly, like, in a small way to the episode of Great Lakes Freakout. This is a Casagrandes episode in a Loud House show. It kind of feels like a Casagrandes episode, yeah. So Omid, after seeing this episode, how did it feel seeing the Casagrandes again, back in their own town, in their own vibe? Did it feel like the regular old Casagrandes show that we used to love?
Yeah, it definitely gave me Casagrandes vibes because obviously it's going to take place in Great Lake City. And then, once you know it, like the first thing you see, Lincoln and Lori traveling to Great Lake City, all like, Great Lake City, here we come. And then you see Bobby and Ronnie Ann being up with them and describing to them the contest. And oh my God, such Ronnie Ann vibes right here. Like, look at this. Like, every image of this scene just screams out Ronnie Ann. Like, this moment here was like Ronnie Ann everywhere. And then you see Ronnie Ann getting all excited when talking to Lincoln about the Great Lakes City, like Halloween contest. Like, oh my God, the way she gets all giddy and the way she gets super hyper when talking to Lincoln, it just makes me think, oh my God, that's adorable.
Throughout this episode, it just feel like it was just a Casagrandes episode. Like, I get it. The Louds came into Great Lake City just to help the Casagrandes out. You thought it was just gonna be a Halloween theme, like episode we're just gonna see Lori and Bobby together and Roddy Ann and Lincoln together. But instead it turned out to be a whole family dilemma where the Casagrandes need help of trying to help the Mercado become the scariest Mercado in the town, and having the Louds also help out in their situation. So again, minimal interaction with the Louds helping the Casagrandes, but it does help the fact that the Louds help them out when it comes to making the scariest Mercado, which was the point of the whole episode. And throughout this episode, it just feels so great. Like, you see like the Casagrandes, hey, like, being the regular selves. You see Carl being foolish. You get to see Bobby, being kind of dumb sometimes. You get to see Hector trying to run the Mercado. You get to see Carlota being fashionable. You get to see Carlos just being a smart person. It felt like such a Casagrandes episode. Like, I miss that vibe. I miss that from the show. Like, the show's canceled, but at least it's incorporated in the Loud House, and it definitely showed up a lot with the fact that it's also in Great Lake City, that it's in with the family, that we get to see just so much like Casagrandes references here and there. So it's just like, wow, I'm watching a Loud House episode, but there's Casagrandes here. It feels like a Casagrandes episode,
It really does. It really feels like the Casagrandes played a central role, like their main role, and the Louds are the supporting characters, despite the fact that it's a Loud House episode, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, oh yeah, Loud House episode. No, wait, remember, we have the Casagrandes with us now, so we'll take it into our advantage. And here you go. We get to see the Louds and Casagrandes interact with each other, and it worked out in this episode. No doubt about it. Definitely one of the best Halloween specials I've seen. Then again, they keep on making Halloween specials for both Loud House and Casagrandes.
That feeling when Boris is a Great Lakes City visitor before Haikyuu is. Like, okay, Boris visited Great Lakes City before Haikyuu.
I know, that's the surprising part about it, right? Now, what impressed you the most when watching this episode? Like, Louds, Casagrandes interactions, so much to take when it comes to this episode.
Like I said before, this episode managed to do what the other episodes like Loud's Thanksgiving and Curse couldn't. And that is have the personal interactions between each Loud and each Casagrande. Like, you got Lisa and Carlos, you got Carlota and Lenny, you got much more like bonding over their own, mutual interests. Like, oh my gosh, like, it is just, a sight to behold. It's what we've been asking for a long time. And would you know it, we've been blessed.
I was just happy the fact that we end up getting like those interactions. I mean, so Lenny and Carlota was one example. We get to see Lisa and Carlos, which, by the way, they're both geniuses. That those interactions were what we've been waiting for, because we have seen that before in the Loudest Thanksgiving. We get to see like, all these people, all these like Louds and Casagrandes that have the same interests, like literally interacting with each other, but they were just for like show, because Flip was pretty much overshadowing what they were talking about. So that Loudest Thanksgiving moment is like, oh yeah, cool. We get to see like Lenny and Carlota talk. We get to see Lynn and Rosa talk. We get to see Lori and Bobby talk, that kind of thing. But they don't talk much. There's not really much interaction. We don't get to see like Hector or Luna talk about how they play instruments and things like that. In this episode, I think that answers the question. Yeah, that's a season 3 episode. It took up 3 seasons to finally have our pleas be answered. but we finally get it answered. Like we get to see Carlota and Lenny finally talk about fashion and make fashionable outfits for Halloween. We get to see Lana, for example, help the Casagrandes out with their animal problem. So that's cool. We also get to see Lucy help the Casagrandes out when it comes to making the Mercado scarier. And then we also get to see Lisa, like I said, Lisa and Carlos just interact with each other, just become smarties to say.
With their fun facts and all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This was what we were missing in the loudest Thanksgiving, and it totally showed off. Like it for a 30-minute special for Halloween, it definitely showed off. It definitely was what we've been waiting for to say.
I agree.
Yeah. Another thing that I also want to bring up from this episode is the secondary characters. Look, we were thinking that secondary characters would not show up at all, but we do get to see them. We get to see, like, for example, Margarita. She had this Halloween thing. So it tells you, like, oh, we remember about this secondary character. Cool. Let's bring her into this episode. She runs her own barbershop, and she's competing, and the barbershop's competing against the Mercado. Yeah, why don't you bring that shop in? Also, Hong's shop. He doesn't have as much appearance in the Casagrandes, but to be fair, having him show up randomly against a Mercado against a Mercado, yeah, no doubt about it. You definitely need to bring that up as well. And of course, Ernesto Estrella. I'm like, wow, Ernesto Estrella. I thought you were just only in the Casagrandes because that's only Rosa's favorite, like, person. So it's just weird because, like, say for example, you're a person who only watches the Loud House, and now you get to see the Casagrandes episode finally in a Loud House episode. It will be really weird if you don't watch. It'll be really weird if you just come into the episode as a person who only watches the Loud House, and then you just come into Great Lakes Freak Out, and you just say, like, where is this from? How the hell am I not seeing this? Like, how the hell is Rosa liking Ernesto Estrella? Who is this person? Who is that person? And it just tells you need to watch the Casagrandes.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's one of those things where it's like you got to watch its spin-off series Casagrandes, not just Loud House alone. Okay, if you just watch Loud House alone, yeah, you're gonna be thinking to yourself, like, who's that guy? Who's that girl? Like, I haven't met this guy before, and it's like, trust me, you need to watch.
You're gonna be very confused. Like, I mean, at the moment right now, it just makes me also think as well, like, are people gonna be very confused if you've been a person who just watched the Loud House just because, oh, Loud's cool, but then you just have not been following up on the Casagrandes, so you don't follow up on like Rosa liking Ernesto Estrella or Arturo, for example. Like, oh, who's this person? Arturo was only in the Casagrandes, never been in the Loud House, for example. I mean, those characters that you never see in the Loud House or the Casagrandes are coming into the Loud House now, and now you're just gonna be thinking, like, oh, who are they? I think it's also a good strategy for, like, the Nickelodeon team, because it tells you, like, oh, cool, the Casagrandes are now in the Loud House. Now that they are here, you have to watch the Casagrandes now. So maybe it's just a way of, like, getting people to watch the Casagrandes, right? Maybe that.
Maybe that, yeah.
It's a good strategy for Nickelodeon to do. It makes a lot of people like the Loud House more. I'm assuming that's the way they're doing it,
And then if they're doing it, that's a damn smart way of doing so.
Yeah. Now, I already talked about Forky and Knives Out because that's a 15-minute episode. This is a special we're talking about Great Lakes Freak Out. Now, we have other specials that also came out that featured the Loud House and the Casagrandes interacting with each other. Like, for example, Loudest Thanksgiving, Cursed, Very Casagrandes Christmas. How does this episode or this special compare to, like, the specials that we've already watched?
Now, because now pretty much like I said before, this episode, I feel like this episode, I said before, and I'll say it again right now, like, this is honestly the best Loud House Casagrandes, like, crossover, even more so Loud Thanksgiving, even more so than Curse. And, like, of course, in terms of Very Casagrandes Christmas, absolutely blows it out of the water in terms of Loud House Casagrandes appearances because of how dirty they did the Louds in the last 5 seconds, but I digress. I feel like this episode pretty much solved the problems that these other episodes had, where it, like I said before, personal interactions. Then you got the Louds actually helping them out, like actually playing a major role, not just for cameo purposes, but also they serve a purpose to the story. And also just by the fact it's just good Halloween fun. Like, honestly, you could feel the Halloween vibes in this episode. Even more so Tricky, even more so the Curse of Kenny Goblin.
I gotta say this though. This definitely, okay. This definitely is one of the better specials that blows the other specials with that features the Loud and Casagrandes out of the water. Like Curse, for example. Oh, there's only like 10 minutes of Lincoln of the Louds and the Casagrandes interacting with each other, but there wasn't even much interaction at all. It was just like, oh, the Casagrandes are just trying to fight for survival. So they all fit themselves in one room and try to make sure that they can make sure Rosa can just be bad luck and just think about going back to Great Lake City, you know. Oh, that was only like 10 minutes of like nothing to say. I'm like, they could have had more interactions with the Louds and Casagrandes there, but no, not at all. It was just more towards the Casagrandes trying to make sure that they survive it all. Loudest Thanksgiving, I don't like it that much. I know it's more towards like Bobby and Lori trying to have a great Thanksgiving together, but what's with all the fighting between the Louds and the Casagrandes here? I don't think it was necessary at all.
The fighting wasn't really the problem. It was just the fact that we could have had more personal interactions.
Yeah, exactly. We could have had more personal interactions, but that like got featured for like 1 minute in the episode. The whole thing was just more towards like, who's the better dinner, the Casagrandes or the Louds, you know? And they try to fight to just pretty much say, we have a better show. Oh, we have better food. Well, we have a better way to make sure you're fed, you know, that kind of thing. And I'm like, yeah, we already know the abomination of a very Casagrandes Christmas. I'm not saying the whole episode was an abomination. I thought it was great, but
the ending was an abomination. The episode was great. Come on, like a very Christmas, very good Christmas episode. The ending though, total tease. Like, oh my god,
yeah, because it was only like what, for 15 seconds we get to see the Louds, or no, like 5 or 10 seconds, where we get to see the Louds pretty much say like, "Hey, our car broke down. Can we come in?" And then it just cuts off to like the Casagrandes just having a fun Christmas, and I'm like, there's no interaction at all. It was just one little show. It just showed up for just 1 second. That was it. I'm like, throughout all these specials, you were thinking that they were going to have a great moment where the Louds and the Casagrandes would have an awesome, wholesome moment between each other, but that didn't turn out to be the case. For these last 3 specials with the that featured the Louds and Casagrandes, they all were busts to me. Like Cursed was meh to me. Like, oh, cool, we get to see the Louds, but the Casagrandes,
it was meant to be too.
Focus. Yeah.
Curse wasn't that great, in my opinion.
Loudest Thanksgiving wasn't meant to me too. I didn't like it as well because I like the fighting. Like, why would you have like families fight in a big moment like this? Like,
Loudest Thanksgiving, I thought it was fine, but you could have done more with it. You could have done more with Loudest Thanksgiving.
Right, exactly. Could have done something like that. And then, of course, very Casagrandes Christmas is just more towards the Casagrandes episodes than a Loud House episode or anything like that, because they only just appeared for like 5 seconds, and I'm like, this is pointless. Why would you do that? I don't know. I mean, like I said, this special blows the other specials out of the water, because this one is definitely an amazing special where we get to see what we've been talking about. We finally got our answers revealed about how each Loud would interact with a Casagrande, like Lenny and Carlota, like Lisa and Carlos. If anything, it tells us like, oh god, I can't wait to see if they can have an episode together. Oh, I can't wait to see if they'll have this or that happen, you know? That's the interactions that we've been waiting for. It just sucks that there was not much interactions with Louds and Casagrandes, or not much significant interactions between each Loud and Casagrande when it came to these last couple of specials. A special is supposed to be something great for 30 minutes. And this one definitely, Great Lakes Freakout definitely is a great one, while the other 3 were more like, it's just a Casagrande episode. Oh, what the hell are they fighting for? Oh, why was it crap? Loudest thing, Cursed was like, oh, come on, this is just more towards the Casagrandes than the Louds. So yeah, I mean, if anything, this definitely tells us like, okay, cool. This special tells us like this is going to be how the crew is going to be working with the Casagrandes. So if anything, it just tells us that the next couple episodes that features the Casagrandes will probably be, you know, pretty significant compared to like what we were going to be thinking about these last previous seasons.
Yeah, probably.
So yeah. But yeah, I mean, these are the only 2 episodes that came out for the Loud House that talked about the Casagrandes. Now let's actually talk about the future. So we have seen those 2 episodes, and it's looking out, and from the looks of things with these 2 episodes, it feels like it's going really well with the Casagrandes, you know, being in the hands of the Loud crew. But I know there are more episodes in the pipeline for the Loud House, including a Lenny and Carlota episode. Season 7 is currently in the works as well, and knowing the Casagrandes are in there now, who knows what they will show? So let's get out our predictions on how the Casagrandes are going to be moving forward in the show, The Loud House. Now, even if the Casagrandes aren't going to be a big focus in The Loud House, Amid, do you expect to see more Casagrandes focused episodes in the long run?
I actually do. I actually feel like for every I think like the Casagrandes are going to take up like 1/4 or less of season 7 and 1/4 or less of season 8 and so on and so forth. Like for every like 20 episodes of season 7, there's going to be like 5 episodes that focus on the Casagrandes, and that's it. Because they want to make sure that the main focus, like of the season itself, like most of the episodes focus entirely on the Louds because, well, it's called the Loud House, duh. But then I do like the fact that the Loud House still acknowledges that the Casagrandes do exist, and I feel like with the Loud House, they're gonna have the Casagrandes. They could pretty much get their own spotlight, but only in small doses. Like the Castlevania focus episodes are going to come in small doses.
They're going to come in small doses, but I'm really hoping like it's going to be like, for example, 30% Casagrandes, 70% Louds. Or if anything, more Loud and Casagrandes interactions. I get it that the focus is going to be on the Louds, but they definitely would love to have like the collaboration between both families. If anything, we need that more compared to like a solo Casagrandes episode or a solo Loud House episode.
Yeah.
They'll have I like from the way I'm seeing season 7 look out, it just feels like there's gonna be more Loud House, more episodes focused on the Louds, obviously. But then you need to make sure that they also split the Casagrandes and the Louds Casagrandes episodes, like in the most part, in a good way to say. Because I understand we can't overshadow the Louds, but they need to have more Casagrandes episodes. We definitely miss on the family. We definitely miss on the people that are in Great Lake City. We definitely miss them for sure. We just need to make sure that they don't make a big focus when it comes to the Louds, but nonetheless, they need to at least have some appearance there in the Loud House show because we do miss our Casagrandes. And if anything, Great Lakes Freakout is definitely one that kind of shows an example of what we want to have coming forward when it comes to season 7.
Yeah, I agree with you. You're spot on about that.
So now I have to think. We already saw Lenny Carlota interact. We already saw Lisa and Carlos interact. What other Loud Casagrande interaction do you want to see in the future? Any other thoughts of what interaction is going to look like?
Of course, you got Lincoln Squad and Ronnie and Squad.
Oh my god,
together.
That would be great if you actually have like Lincoln and Ronnie and Squad meet up. Ooh,
that would be awesome. I would be down for that. And also, let's see. I kind of want to see like the Royalwood citizens interact with the Great Lakes City citizens, like like these random Royalwoods and random Great Lakes City citizens. Like for example, like I said before, I kind of want to see a moment where you have Loud House Becky and Casagrandes Becky, and then they point at each other and be like, "Who are you?" "I'm Becky." "Wait, we have the same name."
No, but this Becky, remember? Becky is supposed to be graduating with Lori.
I know, but what if the off chance that Becky comes to visit Lenny, for example? Because we see Becky hang out with Lenny often, and it'll be cool if Becky comes back from college per se and like hangs out with Lenny at some point.
My thing right now, remember that episode where Stella got that light blue sweatshirt? I'm pretty sure Nikki gave it to her. I need those two to interact, please.
I kind of do, yeah.
Look, they're the tallest people in the group. So I would say, why not let the tallest people interact with each other? That'd be pretty
plus,
cool.
they're tall girls. They're tall girls.
Yeah, exactly. As I'm saying.
I was saying how there could be a chance that Stella could bond with Laird, friendship or otherwise, simply because of the fact that they are the last members of their own squads, and just by the simple fact that they pretty much feel like sort of a outsider or something of a black sheep of the squad. Like, for example, you got Laird, who is the nerd, like the geek compared to the rest, and you got Stella, who's the girl compared to the rest.
Right, that's true. I have to say though, I mean, like I understand like Ronnie Ann's squad is definitely bigger compared to the Loud House squad, but I can totally see like them like the squads literally interact with each other. I don't know what Liam is probably gonna talk about farm work, and I'm pretty sure one of the boys is probably gonna be like one of the boys of Ronnie Ann's squad is probably gonna be interested in that as well. Remember that what was it? Rusty used to be like a person who loves bicycles to say. I would imagine he would be like a skateboard kind of dude. So why not have like him interact with these people because they are also skaters as well. I can see like Zach and Laird become a thing because they are nerds. They like into aliens and stuff. I'm pretty sure inside Laird will be like, "Oh my god, you like aliens too? Yeah, I want to try. I want to see how this is."
Let's be honest. Laird is pretty much a Zach with a preppy uniform and a afro wig.
Right,
When you do think
right.
about it, they look alike too. They look alike.
Yeah, and I know you all want to see that Lincoln and Sid. Oh, sorry, not Lincoln Sid. Clyde and Sid together. I mean, they both like K-pop. I mean, you saw that Phantom Freakout episode, so
Slide.
I mean, I can totally definitely see that now. I mean, like if they say they do like K-pop with each other, I can definitely see like Sid and Clyde definitely hang out with each other. If anything, of course, you get
Yeah.
Ronnie and of course you have Ronnie and Lincoln hanging out with each other, obviously. So. How great was it considering that from the first time we saw Nikki, Samir, and Casey from City Slickers, look at them now. They're definitely a huge part of Ronnie Ann's group now.
Yeah. When I saw like Nikki, Casey, Samir, and like even Laird, yeah, when I saw them as one big group, it made me so happy just by the fact that just like Lincoln has his own gang, Ronnie Ann has their own gang too. It really just show how really alike Lincoln and Ronnie Ann are like to each other. They're really so alike down to a point where they have an equal amount of members of their own squads. And it really does enhance the fact that, Ronikin is, game.
Yeah, it would be the end game. Yes.
Ronikin is that game.
What other people can we see interactions from? I can totally see like I mean Hector and Luna definitely are going to. I would love to see those two interact just because they're both guitarists to say. Carlo and Lola, we haven't seen that in so long. The last time we saw them together was in Cursed. Who knows if they're going to be fighting again? We'll see.
Yeah.
I want to. Here's the thing. I also want to see CJ and Luann Loud because they're both comedians to say. They are both funny people. And it'd be great to see like Luann interact with CJ and talk about funny bits to say, make him.
Yeah, I would
funny
imagine
guy.
like CJ would be the perfect assistant to Luann, mainly because of the fact that he's into like playing pirate, he's into fun
Yeah.
stuff, and just the simple fact that CJ just loves to help. Like he just loves to help in any way he can. So hey, why not help Luann with her comedy? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I do want to see a Luann and CJ episode.
Okay. One thing I also do want to see, I would imagine that the Casagrandes are now 1 year older as well, just like the Louds. I want to see Carlitos finally go to preschool too.
Yeah, you see Carlitos going to preschool with Lily, for example. Like they don't go to the same preschool, but it would be funny if they do end up in like the same field trip, for example, if preschoolers do take field trips, and then Carlitos and Lily interact with each other, they bond over each other, they have an episode with each other, and the whole episode is just them like, that's what I like. With the Carlitos and Lily episode, you could do them pretty much without any dialogue coming from them, just hand gestures and baby noises and all this stuff, while you've got the rest of the characters pretty much having their lines. So it's going to be mainly focused on just Lily and Carlitos together.
You did say you want to see some old folks, hang out with each other. I kind of want to see Scoots and Maybell together.
Scoots and Maybell, I was just about to say, like Scoots and Maybell would definitely be, they would definitely be a
it's
thing.
gonna be weird. For example, like Maybell like moves out of Great Lake City and then moves into Sunny Shores,
Sunset Canyon.
Sunset Canyon. Sorry, Sunset Canyon in the retirement home where Scoots is. And who knows? They could have like an old granny battle or something like that.
Something like that.
Hey, I run it. I'm Scoots. I run this whole Sunset Canyon retirement home. That kind of thing.
And then Maybell challenges her to be like, "I'm the big baddest grandma here, not you." And Scoots like,
see,
oh,
something like that. Yeah, see something like that. That'd be great. That kind of thing. I don't know much when it comes to other interactions, because the thing is that there are a lot of secondary characters in the Casagrandes compared to the Loud House, but obviously it'd be cool to just continue to see more interactions with the Louds and Casagrandes for sure. But then, our minds think alike. We're kind of thinking like, who else can the Casagrandes hang out with? Like Sid can hang out with like like Girl Jordan, for example, or Sid hang out with Stella because they're both Asians and they're both nerds. Like that'd be something great. Maybe Sid can hang out with Stella and then she could talk about K-pop with her. And then Stella becomes a K-pop fan. I mean, that'd be great. Seeing those two interact.
Yeah, and also it would make more sense than Sid and Lisa, for example. I do like Sid and Lisa, but I feel like
I like the episode though. I mean,
I like
Lisa...
the episode, but I wouldn't have pictured them interacting with each other. I think like Sid would have better chemistry with Stella, in my opinion.
Maybe in that case, yeah. I'll just say it's my headcanons. To say the least, our headcanons are just gonna be like all over the place now that now that the Casagrandes and the Louds are gonna be. It just feels like I said this before on my Twitter. I said this is just gonna be like when Marcy's journal comes out for Amphibia. My headcanons are just gonna go all over the place.
Yeah, it could be.
That's just putting it out there. Okay, so we talked about the interactions with like secondary with characters of the Loud House and the Casagrandes. First off, obviously, we only saw a few secondary characters that came up in the Casagrandes in Loud House episodes. What other secondary characters from the Casagrandes do you want to see in the Loud House now?
Let me see. What other characters do I want to see? Like I said, it'd be interesting to see a Becky episode under the Loud House name. Like I said, that'd be wild. That'd be wild.
I would love to see a Becky episode because I miss for Becky.
Yeah, and
I was gonna point out. Yeah, I was gonna point out Becky. I definitely miss her. I don't know how she's going to interact with the Louds. I would imagine she's probably going to threaten the Louds.
and it'd be funny if Lenny comes across Becky and then Becky says to Lenny, "My name is Becky," and then Lenny is like, "Wait, I've known to Becky. Did you take her name? Did you take her name?"
That would be great. That'd be great. But my thing right here is the fact that Becky's just kind of a tough girl and things like that, and she's slowly becoming a part of Ronnie Ann's squad. I'm surprised about that one too. You thought, oh, Becky's a bully after what she did to Ronnie Ann. Now look at her now. She's interacting with Ronnie Ann even more.
Becky and Lynn. Let's go.
Yeah.
We want a Becky and Lynn fight.
There's a good one too. See, I want to see that too. They're both into sports. They could definitely see each other, like, interact and all. So, that'd be great. Let's say, for example, like Lynn has like a basketball tournament or a dodgeball tournament over at Great Lake City, and then she sees Becky, and then they fight each other in dodgeball. That'd be a fun episode.
Yeah, it definitely would.
I'm just putting it out there. There's a lot of headcanons that we can totally see from this interaction between Louds and Casagrandes. One particular group of people that I need to point out that I really hope, and I fingers crossed hope, would make it to the Loud House would be the Changs. Because no doubt we miss the family so much, and there's just been so much episodes about the Changs. We get to see Stanley Chang riding on his train. We get to see Becca Chang in the zoo. And of course, Sid is still an awesome person. And of course, little Adelaide, we've seen her episodes as well. She's an adorable little fruit pie. It would suck if they don't appear anymore. They need to appear some way in the Loud House now.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Changs, like I said, we've been wanting a Chang family prequel episode, which is how did the Changs get to Great Lake City in the first place? But then again, it's going to be kind of weird to see it under Loud House instead of Casagrandes.
It would have been great in the Casagrandes, but no, we don't have that anymore.
Why?
So that is one group I definitely would love to see again. The whole Chang family, no doubt. I can't wait if they could ever bring him back. I don't know how. If anything, they should at least bring Sid in, because Sid is Ronnie Ann's best friend, and obviously do another Phantom Freakout episode. Not like literal Phantom Freakout, but more like, hey, have the four of them interact with each other, because they've only done it before by trying to save Clovis Midnight, for example.
Yeah.
So I just really hope Sid comes in. And then, of course, you see Adelaide come in as well. Maybe Adelaide and Lana can finally have their episode. Remember, they like animals. So Lana likes animals. Yeah. Adelaide likes animals. I mean, she has her Froggy, and Lana has her Froggy. They need an interaction episode too.
Like, have Carl and Adelaide interact with Lana and Lola.
Yeah, I mean, there's that. And of course, Stanley loves trains, and I don't know who likes trains over the Casagrandes, except Carl. Carl likes trains in Casagrandes. The Louds don't even have a person who likes trains, unfortunately. I would imagine Becca hanging out with Lana too, because remember, Becca is a zookeeper and she loves animals. So I'd imagine Lana would love animals. So she's probably going to learn from Becca about how to raise animals, for example. You know,
Yeah,
there's just so much you could bring in when it comes to the Changs. They
it's
need to
so
come,
much you could do.
they need to come
It's
into an episode of the Loud House.
it's so much you could do when you have, a wide variety of characters in each of the two shows. Like there's so much you could do with them, put it to good use.
Exactly. And I just hope, like I said, the Chang family ever comes to the Loud House. It would just be an awesome time to actually see those two together. I mean, have the two families, come together and all. How do we know secondary characters to bring in? I mean, Vito's there, you got Bruno there, you also got like the principals of both schools. I don't know. Our minds are pretty much saying like, dude, these Casagrandes characters need to interact with the Louds more, because who knows what will happen, because I can totally see a lot of character building, a lot of chemistry between each of these characters. And in the end, you're going to have an amazing show under the Loud House name.
Oh, how about this? Mr. Bullhofer dating Miss Galliano.
Wait. Do you want to go back to Teacher's Fred again?
Yeah, we all know how well that turned out in that episode. But
Yeah.
no, I feel that like Miss Galliano could give it a second chance with Mr. Bullhofer, and it could actually turn out to be somewhat of a at least decent episode. Not like the one that we got like the last time.
I'm just putting it out there. Yeah, this is just don't want to bring that episode.
How much I hate Teacher's Fred, because I really hate Teacher's Fred.
Yeah, you really hate Teacher's Fred. Yeah. So I mean, to say the least, from the way that the Casagrandes ended to what's going on right now, it just feels like the Casagrandes are going to be under great hands with the Loud House crew. Is that what you're thinking of too, Omid? Do you feel like the Loud House crew is definitely going to really treat the Casagrandes well?
They have been. They have been for seasons, and they're going to continue to do so. Remember Relative Chaos, Spies Who Love Me, like half of season 4, Cursed. No, Cursed was under Casagrandes. What am I saying? Forks and Knives Out, and now with this recent episode, Great Lakes Freakout, it makes me think. Yep, I am confident, 100% confident that the Casagrandes are in good hands with the Loud House.
I believe the same way too. From these first 2 episodes, it tells me that they're gonna do well. I know that we have one more episode of the Loud House Casagrandes that are going to meet up. It's gonna happen with Lenny Loud and Carlota Casagrande, and that one's gonna be like a fashion freak. It's gonna be a fashion competition. That's gonna be fun to watch. So when that episode comes out, hopefully in December, that's something we can't wait for. But then it just gives you a future of what will happen in season 7. Like, we need more Louds and Casagrandes interacting. We need more Casagrandes representation. We need more of them. We want to make sure that the Casagrandes are not over. Like, we know that the show is over, but we want to make sure that the Casagrande show is still in our hearts, is in the Loud House. Like, we got to see them in Great Lake City. We got to see the secondary characters of Great Lake City. We obviously need to see the Casagrande Mercado and the Familia that's in it as well. To say the least, it's a great warm welcome for the Casagrandes to be in the Loud House now. Let's see if the Loud crew can still maintain the wholesomeness of what the Casagrande show was able to give in their show, The Loud House.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I look forward to seeing more of these Casagrandes interactions and appearances in the Loud House. I look forward to that.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how this goes. And so far, the future looks bright for the Casagrandes. And I know that all of us were worried. Oh, no, Casagrandes canceled. Oh no, we're all in tears. We're not liking it.
At the same time, though, they're really not. The Casagrandes may be canceled, but at the same time, it's really not. If you think about it,
I know, but we're all overreacting so much. Now you don't need to overreact and react anymore, because it just feels that the Loud crew is doing a great job with the Casagrandes. So if anything, do not worry. The Loud crew have done their homework. And from these first 2 episodes of the Loud House with the Casagrandes in it, it just tells you that this is going to be fine. So if anything, yeah, this is going to be fine with the Loud crew handling the Casagrandes.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, that's pretty much it for our podcast part. Let's actually head straight to our fan reaction part. Thank you all for interacting with us with the question that we gave out yesterday, talking about the podcast here. So our question that we gave out to you guys is: Do you think that the Casagrandes will be treated well with the current Loud House crew running the show? And your answers actually are pretty good. So let's go ahead and show them out to y'all. If I can bring it out here. Okay. Crap, I need to go straight to the answer here. There we go. 16 replies. I'm liking that so far. It tells you that a lot of people
16, I like it.
reacting to it. Okay. So let's start off with Ryan at Ryan Treasures. He says here, I think and hope so. What I'm really hoping is that we'll get episodes set in Great Lake City, like we got at the beginning of the Loud House season 4, beginning with season 7. Agreeable, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. I couldn't say it about myself.
Yeah. This is from Yellowtail. Yellowtail, you're also in our chat. Thank you for being a part of our Twitch, by the way. There's still good chances for the Casagrandes family, the Changs, and secondary characters to show up in more episodes. And I really hope so, because I really love the Changs to come into the episodes. Same with those secondary characters as well. It just tells you that the Casagrandes still care about the secondary characters, you know?
Yeah. Casagrandes family, you're right on point about that. The rest of all, like the Changs and the secondary characters, it's a wait and see sort of thing. Like maybe they'll appear, maybe they won't.
All right, so this is from Gilbert Gann. Well, thank you for replying, by the way, and also being part of our Twitch chat.
My man.
In my opinion, yes, I have faith that after Forks and Knives Out and Great Lakes Freakout, it's a step forward into developing a future epic storyline for the Loud House, now with the crew, from the Casagrandes joining them. This is one huge opportunity in the future of the Loud House. I don't know if the Loud Casagrandes crew did join the Loud House crew, but no matter what, the Loud House crew actually learned from the Casagrandes crew and is currently maintaining the Casagrandes really well in the Loud House.
They really are. They really are. Gilbert does bring up a good point about that.
This is from Vincent Sofawalk.
Vincent
Sofawalk. There's faith and confidence growing after seeing Forks and Knives Out and Great Lakes Freakout with some of the people who previously worked on the Casagrandes, who knows what else they could do. He's right on that.
Yeah, like there should be more, like the more episodes like Forks and Knives Out and Great Lakes Freakout that we see, the more faith I have for it. Like honestly, I look forward to not just those, I look forward to the Lenny and Carlota episode, which is going to really help enhance, the Loud Casagrandes interactions that we've been asking for years. And but also just by the fact that the Casagrandes, I even feel they're gonna play as big a role. They're gonna have their own main roles in the Loud House episodes, which is really gonna help. So I look forward to that.
All right, this is from Astral Mythros. This person says, hard to say, though Forks and Knives Out seems a promising start. What I'm hoping to see is more interactions between the two families, especially with Ronnie and Lincoln sisters. I still want to see an episode with Ronnie and Lana so much.
Wonder how an episode with Ronnie and Lana. I'm kind of wondering how that'll play out. Because
I'm wondering about that too. I don't know how that works out, because they're both out of Ronnie.
They're both tomboys,
but Lana.
They're both tomboys, but that's really all you could say. But they're both different kind of tomboys.
Right. All right. So this person, Matthew Boyd, at Mount Loud Artist, this person says, I think the characters will be treated well if we see the Changs again in the Loud House. I would love to see Clyde and Sid as a ship together. Okay, there's a slide fan here.
Slide.
And another thing would be, do not move Ronnie Ann and her family back to Royal Woods, please. Yeah.
They never will.
I agree with it too.
Trust me, they never will, okay? They would rather have their show abruptly canceled rather than, the Loud House would rather be abruptly canceled right then and there than, have Ronnie and move back to Roy Woods. That's never going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah, for sure. Because I want them to stay in Great Lake City for sure. Okay, this is from Sunny Eclipse, our good friend Sunny. He said, after Forks and Knives Out and Great Lake Freakout, I believe they'll be treated well, especially since the Casa crew were consultants of those episodes. See, they were helping them make those episodes, and look what happened. They're great.
If they were consultants of the episodes, then that means that you got yourself, really great Loud House of Casagrandes episodes coming along the way. Hell, you got Miguel Puga himself heavily involved in the Loud House. So, when you got Miguel Puga on board, the Casagrandes are in good hands.
Oh, yeah. All right. This is from David Mercado at Dave Me. Oh, it's a big, long number. he says, I think they'll be treated very well. I just hope they can balance them out more, since they'll be appearing in the actual show a little more often. I don't think so, because I feel like the Casagrandes are going to be featured less compared to the Louds.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. They're like, because this is the Loud House, they're not going to have a 50-50 even split of, Loud House episodes and Casagrandes episodes like per season. That's not going to happen. What's going to happen is Loud House are going to get a lion's share of episodes, and the Casagrandes are going to get, like I said before, 25% to 30% of the episodes per season. That's how it's going to work. Like at the most, it's pretty much 30% maximum.
Right. And then this is from Pastamoth at the Pastamoth. Says, I do think they'll be treated well, but I also hope that this change, there'll be more creative episode ideas with them. And I'm pretty sure there will be. I mean, there's a lot of good ideas that are coming out from the Loud House and the Casagrandes interacting with each other now.
Yeah, I think like I said before, because of the fact that the Casagrandes consultants are involved with this makes me think, yeah, the characters are in good hands.
Okay. All right, and then I got this last one from this one person called Commando Knight 200 or Commando Knight 2 at Commando Knight 2. The way that he says it is kind of funny. Yes, this isn't a Family Guy and Cleveland show situation. No more of the jokes again.
Yeah, no, honestly, like, I hate the Cleveland show, but let me be honest, the jokes themselves, they're past their prime. Like, they're getting a bit old, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, I mean, I to be fair, at least the Casagrandes did a much better job when it comes to a spin-off show compared to what
There's no contest.
The Cleveland show did. So if anything, it's a good example of what spin-offs are supposed to be like compared to what other spin-offs have been.
Exactly. Like I said before, Casagrandes and Better Call Saul, like, they do spin-off shows the best.
All right, and thank you all very much for your fan reaction replies. We definitely see the love from the Loud crew and the Casa crew out there. So I hope you guys continue to be interactive with us as we continue on with more Loud House. I hope you get to see more of us, some more interactions with us as we continue to make more Loud Casa Talks episodes. All right, well, that's pretty much it for our Loud Casa Talks episode. Remember that you can also listen to our Loud Casa Talks podcast on all podcast providers: Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Wherever you listen to podcasts, we'll be there with new episodes of the Loud Casa Talks there. If you're watching on our YouTube, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the red button, and hit the bell button to be notified when we'll be coming on next. And also, since you're watching on Twitch, please follow our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/LoudCasaTalks. We're trying to hit 50 followers to become an affiliate of Twitch. So if you want to, please help us out and follow us on our Twitch our Twitch channel called LoudCasa Talks. We won't be back until 2 weeks because next week is going to be Thanksgiving. So we're going to be taking that weekend off. But when we come back in 2 weeks, we're going to be talking about some really Loud House episode reviews. And we're going to be talking about the chore thing, the second episode of the Really Loud House. And of course, we're going to talk about the Blemis Diminish. We have to talk about that one. Yes, we need to interact. We need to talk about that a whole lot more because we don't know who this Charlie person is and if she's going to be really the crush of that Lincoln is going to be dreaming of.
Like, I'm looking forward to talking about it, yet I'm kind of dreading talking about it. If you know what I mean.
Too bad. We're going to bring that up.
Hey, we do this for you guys. Because we love you guys.
I can't wait to see this though. But yeah, that episode comes out tomorrow. We're gonna be reviewing it on November 30th. So make sure you guys check out our Loud Casa Talks Loud Casa Talks Twitch and YouTube so you can be able to see that. But yeah, that's it for us here. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys have an amazing Thanksgiving, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks for the next Loud Casa Talks or episode reviews. Stream. I don't know what to say anymore. I talked a lot in this podcast for sure. Anyways, my name is Nate.
And this is Omid saying thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for listening. And get ready for the holiday season, y'all. Until next time, smell you later, Loud Crowd.